Think about a blacksmith forging a sword. Every strike looks identical. The first 100 blows seem meaningless to an impatient eye. Nothing is changing. But deep inside the steel, every impact is rearranging its strength. Then, suddenly, what looked like ordinary metal becomes a blade capable of cutting through armor. The sword was never created in the final strike. It was created by every strike that nobody thought mattered. Your life works the same way. Every book you finish when nobody applauds. Every workout completed in an empty room. Every skill practiced after everyone else has gone to sleep. None of it feels important today. But these invisible actions are quietly building a version of you that opportunities will eventually recognize before people do. Ordinary people demand proof before they commit. Extraordinary people commit long before the proof appears. Stop asking when success will come. Ask a far more dangerous question. Who must I become so that success has nowhere else to go? There is a silent addiction destroying more dreams than failure ever could. The craving to be seen before you've become someone worth remembering. The moment recognition becomes your goal, your growth quietly begins to die. Picture an archer standing before a target. A beginner stares at the bullseye, desperate to hit it. But the master barely looks at the target at all. His attention stays on his breath, his stance, his grip, and his release. He understands that the arrow doesn't obey desire, it obeys discipline. This is why most people stay stuck. They obsess over subscribers instead of skill, followers instead of value, applause instead of mastery. They keep staring at the scoreboard while the winners are quietly becoming so good that the scoreboard has no choice but to change. Leonardo da Vinci spent years perfecting tiny details that almost nobody would ever notice, hours on a single hand, days studying light, weeks correcting one mistake. Genius is not built through speed. It is built through an obsession with details ordinary people are too impatient to respect. Imagine planting an oak tree and every morning digging it up just to check if the roots have grown. Every time you do, you delay the very growth you're desperate to see. That is what happens every time you chase validation. You pull your own roots out of the ground. Recognition is borrowed. Mastery is owned. Recognition can disappear overnight, but mastery stays with you forever. Comfort doesn't protect you, it quietly destroys you. There is a prison so dangerous that millions willingly lock themselves inside it every day, comfort. It doesn't look like a prison because it never hurts immediately. It smiles, lets you rest, and whispers, "You can start tomorrow." While you keep believing it, your future quietly disappears. Life doesn't steal your dreams overnight. It steals them one comfortable decision at a time. Seneca understood this better than almost anyone. He deliberately chose days of hardship, simple food, rough clothes, uncomfortable living, not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he refused to let comfort become his master. He knew that the man who only feels strong in comfortable conditions is not strong at all. He is simply protected. Picture a sword lying untouched inside a glass case. It shines, looks perfect, and never gets scratched. But the first time it faces a real battle, it shatters. Beside it stands another sword covered in scars, forged inside unbearable fire. One looks impressive. The other survives reality. Growth has never been created inside comfort. It has always been forged inside resistance. Confidence is built by repeatedly surviving things your mind once believed would break you. Every voluntary hardship sends one message to your brain: I am stronger than my fear. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards identity. Every morning, before you make your first decision, your brain asks one silent question: who am I today? Whatever answer you have repeated for years becomes the invisible script your entire life follows. Most people don't lose because they lack discipline. They lose because they're trying to act like someone they've never decided to become. Imagine an eagle raised among chickens. It eats what they eat and walks where they walk, believing the sky belongs to someone else until it spreads its wings by accident and realizes the prison was never the cage, but the identity it accepted without questioning. Epictetus taught that no one can imprison your mind without your permission. Motivation fights your identity. and identity wins every single time. Stop saying, "I want success." Start asking, "What would the person I'm becoming do next?" When your identity changes, discipline stops feeling like sacrifice. It becomes natural behavior. One vote changes nothing. 1,000 votes create a completely different human being. Guard your mind because everything wants to steal it. There is something more valuable than your time, money, or talent: your attention. Wherever your attention goes, your life quietly follows. The modern world is built to steal it from you every single day. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while dozens of tiny holes leak from the bottom. The problem was never how much water you poured in. It was everything silently draining it away. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by chaos, yet returned to one simple truth: your mind belongs to you unless you hand it away. Concentrate rays of sunlight into a single point through a magnifying glass, and they become powerful enough to start a fire. Human attention works the same way. A distracted mind warms nothing. A focused mind changes everything. Treat your attention not like spare change, but like your greatest investment. Protect it, train it, and aim it at one meaningful goal long enough that the impossible begins to look inevitable. The moment you start performing, you stop growing. The moment your focus shifts from becoming to being admired, your growth quietly begins to slow down. A tree standing deep inside a forest doesn't grow taller because someone is watching. It grows because growth is its nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote his deepest thoughts in complete privacy, never intending for the world to read them. He wasn't building an audience. He was building himself. Watch what happens after someone achieves their first success. They stop practicing and start protecting their image. Every decision becomes about looking successful instead of becoming stronger. The most dangerous failure feels like comfort wrapped in applause. Never let success become your identity. Let it become your byproduct. The strongest people celebrate for a moment, then return to the work. Yesterday's victory cannot build tomorrow's life. Only today's discipline can. Become dangerous by learning to wait. The strongest people are not the fastest. They are the ones who never allowed time to become their enemy. While everyone else is obsessed with speed, they are obsessed with endurance. Anything built too quickly usually collapses just as fast. A glacier moving across a mountain seems completely still. But come back 100 years later and you'll find it has carved entire valleys through solid rock. A bamboo seed can spend years building roots underground that nobody sees, looking lifeless. Then in a matter of weeks, it rises higher than anyone imagined possible. Patience is not passive. It is one of the highest forms of discipline. It means showing up when nothing is changing and building when nobody is clapping. The world celebrates the height, but nature rewards the roots. Stop waiting for permission. Your future is waiting. What separates people who dream about extraordinary lives from those who build them is the day they stop waiting for someone else to tell them they can begin. Most people waste years standing in front of doors that were never locked. They wait for confidence before taking action, or for certainty before making decisions. Courage is born the moment you move despite uncertainty. Every remarkable person in history began before they felt prepared. They spoke before their voice stopped shaking, and built before they knew every answer. Readiness is a feeling that comes and goes. Willingness is a decision. Success was never the destination. It was who you were becoming. Success was never waiting at the end of the road. It was quietly taking shape inside you every single day. A sculptor standing before a block of stone doesn't create greatness. He removes everything unnecessary to reveal the masterpiece inside. Your journey is about removing everything holding the real you back. The greatest victory is over the weaker version of yourself that begs for comfort and searches for shortcuts. Measure your life not by how much success you've collected, but by how much you've transformed. The goal was never to build a successful life. It was to build a person who could create success anywhere, under any circumstance, again and again. The promise to yourself. Your future is created by the small choices you repeat when nobody is watching. Every morning, ask yourself, who am I becoming today? Success is a reflection that mirrors the person you become in private long before it rewards you in public. Commit to never stop becoming better than the person you were yesterday. and success will quietly follow you for the rest of your life. You have heard the rule. Now live it. This is not entertainment. This is your psychological toolkit. The crowd talks. The disciplined build. Join the circle. Subscribe for more Stoic rules for strength and self-mastery.